Hello guys, I want to show you what's coming up for your project. This is the instructions. So, van a cocinar o fingir cocinar. You don't actually have to cook. You can cook if you would like to. It's usually about 50-50 students who choose to cook and who don't. And I'm going to give you 3 or 4 recipes from which to choose just to simplify things. Also, so I know exactly what I'm looking for. So when I'm watching them all, because it's going to be, this used to be a partner activity. And since you're all doing it individually, it's going to be a whole lot of projects coming in, hopefully. So, la receta. I've set a preliminary deadline for the 29th of May. I would love them before. But I'll accept them till the end. But I do want you to have drafts, borradores, by the 8th of May, which is very soon. I might change it to the 9th. If I do, it'll be written on here. But I want to make sure that you have a draft to work from. It's not hard because you're going to take the recipe I give you, and then you're going to create the instructions. It really shouldn't take you more than 15, 20 minutes to do it if you've been practicing your commands and if you know your vocab. So, eres un chef famoso de España y montas un programa de cocina. En tu programa tienes que enseñarles a los telespectadores cómo preparar un plato particular. So you are doing a cooking program. You have to have a personality of a famous chef. It can be made up, like you are the famous chef. And you're going to be teaching an audience. So think about that. The commands that you would use would have to be ustedes. You would say, first cut the onions, wash the plate, whatever the instructions will be. I'll give it to you in infinitive form or in the recipe form that it shows up as, but you have to give people the instructions in command form. So it should be from a certain region of Spain. I'm going to take care of that for you. So I would love to give you more choice, but this will just simplify for our COVID-19 world. You need to have about 12 commands. That includes, and kids always misread this part of the instructions, so that's why I'm explaining this. That includes a minimum of 4 negative commands. So I might say, cut the onions, but I might also say, don't cut them too small. So that's an affirmative command and a negative command. You also have to have 4 commands with pronouns, negative and or affirmative. So if I say, cut the onions, I could say, corten las cebollas, no las corten demasiado chicas. Or I could say, cortenlas bien, or, con un cuchillo muy afilado. There's lots of options you can include because naturally you're not going to keep saying onions or whatever the item is. So 12 commands, but I have, that you need at least 4 negative and at least 4 commands with pronouns on them or off of them, whether they are affirmative or negative, right? And I have lots of this information in April's slideshow on how to do this. And you could also, of course, Google videos, etc. So if you're not staying with me, this is very confusing. But if you've been doing what you need to do, commands are really not too hard. Yo form opposite vowel. Affirmative commands, you have to add the pronoun. Negative commands, you cannot add the pronoun. And it goes right before the conjugated verb. All of this should be pretty familiar and pretty simple if you've been following along. So it has to include tu voz. You have to be speaking. This is not a PowerPoint presentation with slides. This is a video. I would prefer that you put it, even set it to private or whatever, but I would prefer you actually upload it in a form you could put it on YouTube so that I can access it for sure. And I know I can evaluate it and see you, hear you, or at least, snippets of you. I need to see your eyes. This is a cooking program. So you can show, down your hands and what have you, but you should also pan up to your face at some point. And I know most of you have family members at home with you all the time now. So you've got a camera person in there that can help you with that. You have to have personality. You have to create a character for yourself so that it's an engaging program. And visuals. If you can't actually cook, if you can't actually buy ingredients, there's no change to it. Like, it's not going to hurt your grade. I had a kid who did a great job with scraps of paper that she colored and made into the items. There's a lot of magic of television you can do here. You can use the, siblings' toys or whatever. Anything to create the program. Play-Doh, be great. Or you could actually cook. That's fine too, right? The time, I said it shouldn't be any less than 3 or any more than 7 minutes. 7 minutes is a very long time for people to watch these kinds of projects. I would prefer that you don't go that long. I think the sweet spot was really about 3 minutes for a lot of people, but some recipes take a little longer than others for sure. But we don't want to sit, dead air is deadly, right? We don't want to sit and watch you frying something. You can cut and paste, the magic of television, or do it like they do on the cooking shows and have, something ready, and then put it in the oven. This is one we've already cooked for you, that kind of thing. Think about it. No quiero ni una palabra en inglés. Yeah. Don't speak any English. I don't want any darns. I don't want any blooper reels. I don't want any English in there at all. I'm trying to evaluate your mastery of Spanish. It says if you have to use an English word, you chose the wrong recipe. No, because I'm going to choose, your selections for you. So, and then you're going to paste your script below. So you're going to get this on Google Classroom. And then when you write everything you're going to say, you're going to paste it below on this document. And then I'll give you feedback before you start recording. Okay. The quicker you get this done, the more likely I am to give you timely feedback. Part of the problem for me with this coronavirus world is that without real deadlines and people staying with a program and staying with daily work, kids are doing things whenever they feel like it. And so I've had kids asking me for help on stuff that we covered in early March when we were still in school, and they've missed this entire unit. Or I have kids that are trying to skip to here but have missed how to even form the commands. So I really ask that you turn this in quickly so that I can give you the good feedback. You have time to learn the material better if you have errors and can make these videos good. We'll have one other assessment that I'm going to give you some options on as well this month, but we got to get cooking, right? I want you all to get credit. Nothing can hurt your grade, but everything can help your grade. And why wouldn't we do that? So that is the short rundown on these. Now let's go over, this is not obviously going to be staying here, but let's go over your kind of some possibilities, right? So you've got a bunch of verbs in the chapter, and I'm going to try to pick recipes that would include these verbs well, like batir, mezclar, cortar. I don't know if picar is on there or not, but that's like dicing. Freír, hervir. So anoche yo cociné salmón a la plancha y arroz con cilantro, cebolla, kimchi. Obviously not a Spanish ingredient. What else did I make last night? Bok choy y otra cosa. Entonces yo puedo hablar del salmón, right? Primero, so la primera cosa que tenemos que hacer es lavarse las manos, ¿verdad? That would cover me using a reflexive verb, which would add a pronoun. So ustedes command for lavar is what? Laven. And it's reflexive, right? You wash yourself the hands. So it's ustedes, that's say, lávense. Now see how I've got lávense? Because I added this pronoun on the end of the command, it changes the length of the word. And so I need an accent mark right there, because otherwise it becomes lávense. Hopefully that harkens back to class a little bit. This is not new teaching for you guys. So, lávanse las manos, right? Whatever, con jabón y agua tibia, or just lávanse las manos. Preparen un espacio limpio para los ingredientes, etc. I'm making this up as we go. This is not even a real recipe, right? Saquen el pescado de la nevera. It's another word for refrigerator. You don't need to start this early on. You can have all your ingredients ready, right? Saquen el pescado de la nevera. Y I'm going to say no lo cocinen. Oh, gosh, darn it. No lo cocinen de inmediato. So when you're cooking, oftentimes for protein, you want it to come up to room temperature before you cook it, especially with meat. I don't know about with fish if it's that important because fish cooks so quickly anyway. But so take out the fish from the refrigerator. Do not cook it immediately. So see, I'm covering my whole negative command. I'm covering my whole pronoun requirement. They're not artificial requirements. They're normal things you would use in talking about how to cook. So I apologize for my not good camera angles. No lo cocinen de inmediato. Whatever. Caliente, excuse me. I was just using the to command, which is often a default. If you're a native speaker, be careful. Don't use the to command. You're trying to demonstrate that you know how to do usted and ustedes commands. We're doing a cooking show, so we're doing ustedes commands. So calentar is the verb. It's a stem changer. So calienten is the command. Calienten let's bake this bad boy. El horno a 355 grados. That's just a circle. All right. HRs like to throw or toss. Echen una cucharadita de sal al superficie del salmón. So throw a teaspoon of salt on the surface of the salmon. Again, not what I did, not what I would do, but I'm just giving you examples. No pongan demasiada sal. Because I actually used panang curry afterwards, I didn't put salt on my fish, but no pongan demasiada sal. See, there's no pronoun there. I'm just using a negative command. You have to have a variety. That shows that you know what you're talking about. So that is the kind of thing you're going to do. So you're going to go through the recipe, how to cook, give some helpful tips, like, to take the smell of garlic off your fingers, use a steel spoon or use lemon juice or whatever. There's lots of things you can say. You can say, don't cook without putting on an apron. You can say, toast the bread, don't burn it, to cover your bases and show me that you know what you're doing. Sorry, I realize that I'm using a very calm kind of energy, and that might make some of you tune me out. So that is the basic gist of what you're being assigned. You should get to work now on it. I will still give you worksheets for practice to see if you know how to form the commands. They will be there. But it's not important that I look at that work because I post the answer keys and you can check your own work. It is important that you get your draft ready to roll. We need to have some presentational writing and speaking grades for you other than your legends, of course. I know there are some people who have posted some questions about their grades, but I've been still waiting for a lot of people to resubmit their story jumpers. And the only things that will be put in and that will change your grades will be things that improve it. I did for one period, the no count for a vocab quiz was gone. And so some of your grades changed for the worse, really quickly. But it was that your grade was artificially high. That when you edit something in Skyward, it actually will remove the no counts sometimes. And so somebody brought that to my attention, that a vocab quiz that shouldn't be a summative assessment was counted as a summative assessment. So that's gone. If any of you is wondering, why'd my grade go down? It's because that wasn't your grade. That was for some reason, and it only affected one period, but for some reason it just wasn't marked as a no count anymore. So I apologize for that, but your work is still your work. The grade that you have is the proficiency level that I was presented with for you. So let's get those up if you want your grades up, right? And hopefully you guys will come to office hours with any questions that you might have. I would say be sure to look at all the slides. You have a new slideshow of May, which you probably know because you found this. So thank you very much. Office hours are tomorrow, Tuesday, and Thursday. And of course, you can email me with questions or put them in comments on Google Classroom as well. Thank you very much. I think I said that already, but bye. Once I can stop Screencastify.